So Stallone basically wanted to mix the action films of the 80s and 90s with the Marvel films of nowadays. Weird. Hey guys, my name is Pedro and I'm here to review the Expendables 3. Now, what do I have to say about the film? Well, before we get into that, let's just talk about the first two films first. Basically, Stallone, he's such an awesome guy because he really understands that he has an audience for action films, and he really wants to bring all of the old action guys together, you know, like Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, Harrison Ford, Wesley Snipes, Antonio Banderas, Mel Gibson, Jean-Claude Van Damme, all of these guys. The fact that he's doing that for me is already making me happy because I grew up with the action films of the 80s and 90s. I actually was born in the late 80s, so I got to watch them on TV in the 90s, and Commando, Rambo, all of those sort of films. And it's really interesting that he's doing this. Expendables 1 was cool, Expendables 2 was cool, and Expendables 3 is also cool. But my major problem with these films is that it sometimes takes itself a little bit too seriously. And for me, that's kind of like a turn-off because mindless action films from the 80s and 90s are mindless action films. Those are what they are. You're not expecting something to be serious, you're expecting to be just having mindless fun with it. These Expendables films don't really go through that way. I mean, you have mindless fun without a doubt. You have the awesome Chuck Norris moment in Expendables 2. You have the awesome Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, Stallone moment in the ending of Expendables 2. So you got, of course, you got mindless action fun. I love those parts of the film. But when they are serious, it sometimes takes me out of the film, and for that reason, I can't like dive myself too much into the film, and there's so much going on sometimes, so you can't really follow who is doing what, and the Expendables 3 suffers from that issue. It's a cool story though. He's been working with his old crew for quite a while, and he thinks it's time to relieve his old crew and get a new crew because he doesn't want to get attached. One of his comrades was injured in the beginning of the film by Mel Gibson being the villain, and he gets his new crew, and he gets Chris Hemsworth, Scarlett Johansson, Chris Evans from this new crew, because if you're gonna get a new crew, you gotta get all these awesome actors instead of just getting like people who look like them, right? Anyway, then he finally realizes that he should have kept his old crew, and then the new crew and the old crew start working together, and it's basically, that's kind of like what the film is. You got really cool cameos. You got Antonio Banderas being really fun, physical comedy kind of character, being very annoying sometimes, and that's very amusing. He's not laugh out funny, but he's a really cool presence. You got Wesley Snipes in the beginning of the film being badass. That was awesome. Wesley Snipes is, wow, it's like doing all this awesome shit. Like, had so much fun. Schwarzenegger being badass as usual, though not as much of a badass as he was in the previous film. In Expendables 2, he was like awesome, you know, in the smart with Bruce Willis. They had really good chemistry. This time around, I don't think he was as awesome, and that's a shame because every time he talked, I just laughed myself because it's Schwarzenegger. I mean, you get to hear, "Get to the chopper, get to the chopper now. What are you doing? I like." Watching Commando and him doing the lines like, "Funny guy, Sully. I like you. That's why I'm gonna kill you last." Remember when I said I was gonna kill you last? That's right. That's right. You did. I lied. Yeah. And you got Stallone being, "I don't know what you do. But then you think I'm doing something. I'm working your film. I'm here to help you. Yeah, you could be more like, you know, I was in the previous film, you know, that's me, you know, it's like Stallone, you know, yeah." So basically, that's just awesome watching Sly and Arnold doing all these things together. We didn't get that much in this film. If you don't have those moments, then it's like, just not that entertaining. But yeah, I mean, it was an all-around enjoyable film. You get Mel Gibson as the villain. He's really good. Not as good as Van Damme was in the Expendables 2, but really good too. Whenever he's on screen, he really does capture the moment. That was cool. You also have Harrison Ford making his debut role because Stallone and Bruce Willis kind of had like a falling out, so Harrison Ford came in to take his place, and Harrison Ford is awesome. You know, he was Han Solo, he's Indiana Jones, so of course he's awesome. But I just felt like with a mindless action film, it should have been more mindless than more serious for me. Also, the action scenes are way too shaky cam. You can't really see who's doing what, and the people who they're fighting against, you just don't really care about the army. It's kind of like the stormtrooper effect, so it's basically people who just die and don't really care about them. It would have been more interesting if Stallone did like an Expendables versus a Dark Expendables group, and both crews would have like top-notch actors from the 80s and 90s. He didn't do that, which is kind of a shame, and hopefully does that in the future, but nonetheless, Expendables 3 is a fun film, but it's nothing amazing in terms of mindless action film. So if I have to give a rating, I would give it 3 out of 5 stars. So I hope you enjoyed my review. Don't forget to subscribe. You can check out 3 reviews here on my right hand side. It'll be to your left hand side. You can also check my Facebook page, my blog, and my Twitter page. So go check them all out, and I'll see you guys in the future. And remember, these are my personal opinions.